broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
And come right in, ladies and gentlemen. We want you to come right in, enter our show, have a seat right here next to me. But if you're driving your car, just keep driving your car the way you are. We want you to be safe, sound, because you're not going to believe what we're dealing with today. As you know, those of you who have been following the show, we have a 5-part series this week, Israel in the line of fire. And we've selected that title because Israel is indeed in the line of fire. Not just metaphorically, but it's got a couple of wars going on a couple of its borders, and it's always on the alert. And we're doing this particular show this week, this 5-part special briefing, and look at Israel and its relations with its neighbors and with the United States, so that we persuade you, the loyal TrentoVision viewer, the loyal WNN watcher, the loyal Tea Party community patriot. Hello, Tea Party people. CJ, say hello to the Tea Party people.
Hello, Tea Party people. And everybody else.
And everybody else.
Tea Party person, by the way.
We want you Tea Party people to come on our trip that will depart from the good old US of A on the 30th of September 2013. Heading eastbound, probably stopping in Gay Paris at Charles de Gaulle, and then jumping on a little plane going down to Israel. Be there about 10, 12, 13 days, depending on which piece of the trip you select. And then we're going to come back essentially the same way. You will land and your life will be different. You will be a different person. Having been in Israel, you will be a different person. Just being on that dirt, just being, particularly if you're a Jewish person or a Christian person, you have never been to Israel. Your roots from both faiths go so deeply into the dirt, metaphorically and specifically, so deeply into the dirt in that land.
That's so funny you should say that, because I remember when I was a kid and people went to Israel, they would come back and they would bring back the little bags of dirt.
I did. We were
my land.
We brought back a salt rock.
Yeah, we brought back stuff you're not supposed to bring back because nothing organic coming back, but we bent the rules, and now President Obama and everybody in the NSA knows we bent the rules, Mark, and brought salt back from the Dead Sea. Oh, man.
No, we didn't.
Oh, no, we didn't. That's
Who
right.
said that?
That's right. Nobody said that.
Nobody said that.
But here today on the 13th...
But if they're tracking my
That's
email...
from the Bonneville Salt Flats
That's
in
Bonneville.
Utah.
Yeah, we stopped...
I hope they weren't tracking my email back then.
We stopped there first. Here on the 13th of June, 2013, Part 4, Israel in the Line of Fire. Did this kid compromise? Did this kid compromise the national security? Not of the United States. That's a given. Did this kid compromise the national security of our only real, trustworthy national security partner in the Middle East, Israel? And who be this kid? Who be this kid?
You love to say Little Eddie Snowjob.
Little Eddie Snowjob, because folks, he ain't passing the smell test. Mr. Rubik's Cube, you heard that right. Mr. Rubik's Cube, hey, you say you're looking for a restaurant, and then I'll be there, the guy with a Rubik's Cube in Hong Kong. This kid thinks he's James Bond. Wait until we tell you how this scam went down, which he, Eddie Snowden, the former Army trainee who broke both legs. Eddie Snowden failed as a soldier, went and worked with the CIA for a couple of months. Eddie Snowden, disillusioned with the CIA, got a job with. How does this guy get these jobs?
How does he get a top secret security clearance?
29 years old. He's a brilliant guy, really is. If anyone has seen his 12-minute interview, he did 5 days of interviews, folks. He has 4 computers he took with him in Hong Kong and broke into the NSA system and downloaded all types of material
that he probably created.
And he was planning this since, I don't know, maybe 2004 when he was 20 years old. Why? Because he was disillusioned. And we're just introducing the topic right now. He was disillusioned with the New York Times because they would not run with a story where George Bush was gathering information on citizens through phone records, which does not violate, we spoke about that yesterday, the Fourth Amendment. So what did he do in January of 2013 when he hatched this plot? He started shopping around for media people that would join with him and expose PRISM, this very sensitive program used to capture and identify terrorists. And who did he wind up with? He wound up with Laura Poitance. Laura Poitance. Who's Laura Poitance?
Who's Laura Poitance?
We'll tell you in a little bit. But let's just say that in 2004 in Iraq, she was filming and she knew about an ambush against American troops.
I remember.
And she chose not to tell Americans that you're going to be ambushed.
Right.
And she's a hardcore left-wing doctrinaire, socialist, Marxist filmmaker, anti-American basically. And he hooked up with her to do this interview and this film they're putting together.
Well, my question for you, Tom, is
Little Eddie Snowjob.
Is anything that he is saying untrue?
Well, let's leave that for now. We'll get back to that in a little bit, but let's introduce the rest of our show.
All right.
Okay? We're here on Thursday with part 4, and what we're doing, folks, all we want to do right now is paint such a delicious picture of Israel, such a exciting picture of Jerusalem and Haifa and Sderot and Tel Aviv and these various towns. Such an intellectually challenging understanding of this unique land that you just say, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta figure this out.
Can we go now?
Yeah, I gotta do this because we have about 10, 15 seats left, and they're filling up rapidly. We're going to show you today, we're going to walk you through the booking process, how you actually book a flight. I think you need a $400 down payment deposit. The prices have come down a little bit, so that's good. The whole thing is under $4,000 right now.
Is that with flight? Or is that with flight?
With the
Yes,
flight.
with the
flight.
flight.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
not bad.
No. It's
For how many
good.
days?
10 days.
10 days.
10 days?
So, 10 days.
All expenses, all
All
expenses.
expense paid.
Yeah, and if you want to bring a little bit of pocket money.
Yeah, if you want
But
a
you
little
don't- and
shopping money or something, you can bring
extra
some.
shawarma. You want to get extra shawarma.
But if
too.
you, I mean, all you really need is like $20 in your pocket plus everything else. I mean,
Yeah,
you really
come
don't
on.
need anything else, right?
Yeah, because you're buying drinks for everybody.
Yeah,
And
you
Mark
go.
will be there. He'll Banca di Marco. He can loan you money.
Banca di Marco.
Yeah.
Banca di Marco.
Banca
yeah.
di Marco. So that's all we're trying to do today. But as a national security investigative organization, the United West, an educational organization, we have no government ties. We operate.
Definitely. Well, we try not to.
We
Well,
operate.
other than our cell phones, but that's all right.
We operate independently, and TrentoVision, our communications arm, we have to deal with the news cycle of the day and the issues that impact national security. So that's why we're on Little Eddie's snow job and the failures of the security apparatus in this country. We're going to talk about that in a second. But what else we're going to do is we're going to walk through the itinerary, and we're going to kind of put some flesh on, or switching the metaphor, really paint a beautiful picture of some of these places we're going to go to and what we're going to do there, so that you can intelligently make your decision. And we need you to make the decision today, or at least by over the weekend. Today's the 13th. Tomorrow is Friday the 14th. Jumpin' Juma Freaky Friday. Tomorrow we
That's
have on.
right,
Who do
that's
we have
right.
on tomorrow?
Yay! Ronnie.
Diana. Oh, Diana.
Diana
won't you
West.
come with me?
And Ronnie
It's a
Wexler.
really, really good book, by the way.
That is a great book.
Yeah.
Our tour guide, Ronnie, will be on
Ronnie
the show as
Wexler,
well.
our tour guide, will be on tomorrow.
And he's actually more than just a tour guide. He's actually a walking encyclopedia. This
He's,
guy is just
he's trained as a rabbi, and then he took Christian training. He's a Jewish guy. Then he was in the IDF. He was in the Yom Kippur War. He was born in Israel. He's an Israeli. He's got dual citizenship. He's a scholar. He's a historian. He's a warrior, and he's just a good guy. And he's much more.
And
than
he's a really charming storyteller too.
Yes.
I mean, when our show was 3 hours, we would have him on for 2 or 3 hours, and people would call us and tell us it
Keep
was
him
the
on.
best shows they ever heard.
Keep him on. Keep him on.
Yeah, can we have more Ronnie Wexler? Well, you can if you come with us on this trip. You can 10 days with Ronnie Wexler.
That's gonna be good. And he's
and Tom too.
He's Skyping in tomorrow, so you can see him live and in color from. I think he's going to be in Haifa tomorrow. So that's what we're going to do the rest of the show. So we're going to get into some of the details. But in our national security work, tying our work into the trip, question we're raising today for debate. I'm going to show you a little video in a second. We had a little scuffle in the bunker here yesterday over this same subject. One of our technical director, J. Mark Campbell, got a little impassioned in articulating. And if you haven't seen it, go to our archives, youtube.com/The United West. Go to the archives. Yesterday's show. All the shows have TrentoVision, then the date. Then all the other videos that are there that don't have that initial format, TrentoVision and the date, are videos we put up. Go find the one for yesterday, which was what, the 11th?
The 12th.
12th. Losing track of the days. Go look for the 12th, and you'll hear this scuffle that occurred. But through the magic of hidden cameras,
Yes,
we captured J. Mark Campbell, who's a rather large guy, and our intern,
who's a rather larger guy.
Whoa! Here.
Coming soon. Today's scuffle on TrentoVision.
Do we have the audio?
Now I must say the
audio and video.
The intern was the winner.
If we have the audio, I'd like to play the audio
of the scuffle yesterday.
Then show the video.
Thanks for queuing that up for us before the show.
We talked about that yesterday. Okay, we'll do that. Here's the audio. Okay, close. Actually, I'll describe the scuffle. We started talking about cut. We started talking about Little Eddie's snow job, and Mark, an advocate for privacy, argued in an impassioned sense that regardless of who this guy is and what he actually did, the essence of his argument that the government had extended its intrusion in a way that violated the Constitution and violated privacy rights of individuals. That was the issue. Our intern disagreed, and the result was... Well, here, we got a picture of it right here. Take a look at our two folks going at it yesterday. Here it is, folks, live on TrentoVision. Godzilla against the Rodzilla. That's pretty good. You got two prehistoric monsters. All right. The people
driving and going crazy.
The people driving their car going, what the hell's going on here? We had two prehistoric creatures clawing each other's eyes out.
Well, one prehistoric.
And what actually occurred in here was not much.
One sentient being and one prehistoric creature.
But you know what?
It's just two Cro-Mags going at each other as far as I'm concerned.
Actually, this whole issue is bringing up some strange bedfellows.
It is.
You got Glenn Beck and who's the Moore?
Michael
Moore. They're in agreement on this issue.
They are in agreement.
And I love it.
And they're and what? That the government.
Yeah, they're on my side. So Glenn Beck is on my side with Michael Moore. Okay. So
Michael Moore is on your side.
So I love what Glenn Beck says.
Looks like the overweight.
Mike says he's a complete total dirtbag and I hate him, but that's right.
He's right on this.
He's right on this.
Did he call him a stupid post?
That's right. He did. Ignorant post. He calls anybody who disagrees with ignorant post.
Yeah.
Our intern. He says you're as stupid as a poster.
Ignorant as a post.
As ignorant as
no, stupid. No, let's get it right. It was stupid. Yeah.
You're stupid.
Okay,
I think
well,
he wanted to say ignorant, but he didn't.
Look, they're going to go at it again. They're going to go at it again.
Like my mother always said, sticks and stones may break my bones.
I grew up with that.
Exactly, but words will never hurt me.
Phone taps will never hurt you,
You
right?
could call me a cracker. You could call me an Irish nag. You could call me whatever you wanted. Okay, who cares?
I grew up with that in the mean streets of New Jersey, and my mother said, "Hey, go back! You know, he called me a name. Get out of here! I'll whack you in the face." My mother used
Get a
to
little
say, go back there and hit him or
skin.
something.
You're snot nose.
Grow up! It's like we're 5 years old in the playground again. Get out of my sandbox.
Well, I happen to know that our interns' parents are from New Jersey, so maybe it's a New Jersey thing. Who knows?
Right.
But in any event, we're not your ordinary show. We're not here to be prim and proper. We're not even here to be fair and balanced. That's other people can do
because
that.
clearly we're unbalanced.
We're completely unbalanced.
We're here to be honest and open.
And I can't answer that right now. We're here to give you our opinion on very important issues of the day and persuade you to believe the way we do.
And not necessarily give the same opinion. We
don't always all. I mean, we all agree on the Judeo-Christian worldview. There's a right and there's a wrong. There's good people. There's bad people. And you try to develop public policy to enhance the good, and you develop public policy to suppress the bad. Well, the big issue in life is, well, what is the good? What is the bad? That's what the philosophers and the politicians and the theologians have figured out and argued about for years. And if you have a framework that's distinctively Judeo-Christian, then you have a framework from which to answer what is the good and what is the bad. And then you build a society upon that framework, and there's unanimity in agreement on these major principles. But when you start diluting that, when the core framework, the Judeo-Christian worldview, starts to get mitigated by people falling away from their faith, or people falling away from their pledge to this contract, the Constitution, and you bring other people in who have no interest in this pledge, this contract that the government has with the people, the U.S. Constitution, when they have no interest in that, and when in fact they bring their own agenda, as the Muslim Brotherhood did,
right there.
When that starts coming in, then this whole thing gets shaky and rocky, and you don't know what the hell is going on. That's the chaotic world, the culturally chaotic world in which we live today in the United States, which makes it easy, folks, for the bad guys who have a whole different framework, an Islamic jihad framework, where evil to them is good, and killing for the sake of advancing a political agenda is good. You have this clash now of civilizations. That's why we're here. That's why we do this show. That's why we're going to Israel.
That's right.
To further our understanding and bring you along with us. And we have a couple of guests in the audience. Don't say anything.
Don't say anything, guest.
Studio
audience.
Yeah,
our studio audience.
Hey, we have a live audience.
We
on occasion, we allow people who go
stragglers, bums,
our
whoever,
vetting process to take a boat out.
Pick them up on the street.
Was it tough going down the big tube, and did you get very wet and cold?
Did you go through the waterfall was heavy. The waterfall was heavy.
Okay. And the whippings and
the beatings and the security and the TSA and the cavity searches and all that.
Bonus.
That was just for
fun.
That was
a bonus. And the electric shock to make sure you are who you are.
A lot of people pay extra.
Welcome to the
for
bunker.
Glad you're here, but please don't bleed on the furniture.
That's right.
Okay? So, good to have both of you guys.
This guy's wearing his sunglasses.
He's
hiding out.
All right,
Elvis is in the house.
Let me sketch out the
What time is it?
The content issue. What time is it?
It's 5:20 on WNN 1470 AM.
I was looking over there for
5:20 at
That's
Cool
right.
Jazz 104.
what time is it?
94.3.
The time is 5:20.
Oh, I may have to go with that. I may have to go with that.
You don't, nobody
5:20
likes my
is-
Cool Jazz 104.
No, that's not bad.
Cool
Try it
Jazz.
on the next chat. We'll see on the next time.
It's 5:20 in the afternoon, folks. Tom Trento here, WNN 1470. Good to have you with us on this sunny but possibly rainy day. I could say that about any day in the
know.
summer in Florida.
Really.
It's sunny and
every
warm
day.
and possibly
And it's-
rainy
and
Possible
possibly raining at
monsoons
3
at 4 o'clock.
at 4 o'clock. So that's the weather. And
And a hurricane is
we
coming
could,
on the
you know,
front.
we could pre-record these shows and say the same sort of thing.
Yeah, we
We
could.
could.
People would complain.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
they would.
We never do that. But in any event, good to have you here. WNN 1470 on the radio side, TrentoVision. And CJ,
iHeartRadio.
if people want to donate, could they do that to help us out?
They could. They could go to TrentoVision.tv and click the Donate Securely button and send us lots of good cheer and well wishes
And be
by
sure.
way of PayPal or their credit card.
Oh, yes, please do that. We appreciate any
And it's
donation.
tax deductible for you.
In addition to the donations, they are tax deductible. We want you to follow us on Twitter. We're at the United West on Twitter. Go there, you can see all our Twitter posts. Like us on our Facebook page, theunitedwest.com. Go there, put a little like thing, and subscribe at YouTube, youtube.com/theunitedwest. So you can do that for us. And be sure to watch Steve K and Brian Craig every morning, 6 to 9 a.m. They get the day started. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let's take a vote. All right, there's 5 of us in here. Actually, there's 7 of us. Little Eddie Snowjob,
Punk.
traitor or hero?
Trader.
Now I'm going to ask you for a raise of hands. Traitor or hero? Raise your hand if you think he's a traitor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meds and meds. Raise your hand if you think
We
he's
got
a
a
hero.
sixth in the back there.
No, he had a meds. He was shaking. Like
Oh, he
that.
was going.
Yeah.
No. In the
Excuse me.
back.
Fine.
Excuse me.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Why is
5.
your hand not up?
Well, if you think he's a traitor, raise your. If you think he's a hero, raise your hand.
No takers for hero.
Oh, get out of here!
Yeah,
You can't take
no,
no.
No, it,
Exactly.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, you're back there.
I'm not taking
What
it.
did you think?
No,
This is the guy that got busted by the NSA?
Yeah.
Hero.
Okay, so one hero.
I could. No, the reason I didn't raise my hand, I could care less.
No,
I'm
no,
talking
no.
about the
Yeah, this isn't
information.
it's a
But this
different
is the
game.
whole point of the whole argument. You guys are focusing on the distraction, the shiny object that's floating out
No,
there.
there's 2 issues. We're dealing with one issue first.
No.
At this
It's
point-
like somehow this has become the issue, and what he's exposed is.
According to the United States government, is looking for him right now. Wants to put him in jail. Yes, it's an issue.
So what? What the thing about it is, what he has done is minuscule in comparison to what the government is doing. To what the
So
government
you
is
don't.
doing.
So you don't have an opinion yet, or you're shaky on it. You're shaky on it. Okay, that's good. And we can change our minds. I mean, the facts may change our minds. He may turn out to be a hero.
What's the difference between a whistleblower and someone who does something? Explain the difference to the audience, Tom. What there's between a whistleblower
Well, you know,
is
you-
and a person who is giving up government secrets.
This is interesting because since I think it was 1989, we have a Whistleblower Protection Act. It's an actual
Right.
law that has been written, and it's very on its face. It's simple. If you're a federal employee and you think something is being done illegally or immorally within the government, and you want to blow the whistle on what's taking place, there is protection for you.
Even though the event that the position that you might be in is in a top secret security clearance.
No.
So if I sign a disclosure document
No.
that says I'm a top secret security clearance and I uncover government doing massively something wrong, I'm a traitor.
Yes. Here's why. So
that goes for everybody who is even in the military.
Let's establish the law.
Well, hold on. You're in the military.
Let's
and
establish
So you can
the
never
law.
say anything because by government fiat, you are property of the government, and you're not allowed to say anything if you're in a
We
top
can
site.
entertain any issue you want, and if it's a military one, we can do that anytime.
Okay.
But the issue on the table today
Okay.
is Little Eddie Snowjob. And the best way to resolve these things is to keep the issue nice and clean and to look at the facts. Here's the facts. 1989, Whistleblower Protection Act. And there was a tremendous amount of debate and discussion over this. And some members in Congress wanted to include the FBI and the intelligence community to say if they saw some wrongdoing, that they can blow the whistle. But the bottom line was the FBI and all the intelligence agencies in the United States are exempted out. The Whistleblower Protection Act does not apply. And when you go into the FBI or you go into the CIA or NSA, it tells you on your contracts, you don't have whistleblower protection. If you want this job, you have to swear, you have to take an oath to protect it. This job may have information that upsets you. You can see these contracts. This job may have information that you don't agree with. This job may have information that you think is horrendous. This job may have information that you ever see these boilerplate contracts if you buy a house or a car? Just imagine what it is when you sign away your life to protect the secrets of the United States of America. And this kid, little Eddie Snowjob, is brilliant. He went in, he signed those documents knowing full well he had no legal protection from the Whistleblower Protection Act 1989.
Well,
now, ironically, in 2011...
That's not what it says.
Yeah, it does say that.
No, it says 1989, United States federal law that protects federal whistleblowers who work for the government and report agency misconduct.
All right, but without taking a lot of time, because you're reading the top portion, if you read down the bottom, the FBI and the intelligence agencies have been taken out. That was in like 2008, 2009. But in 2011, a new law was introduced in Congress to cover the FBI and the CIA and NSA. It's just sitting there. It has not become a law yet. It's just sitting there because everybody's saying we can't do that. We can't have people blowing the whistle on our intelligence agencies and taking down a country's capabilities in a particular area that impacts so many other countries, like is what's happening right now.
Well, my question is, if this guy's such a, the way you're going to paint him is such a scoundrelous character and such a, low life, how in the heck does he get a top secret security clearance to work in this agency?
Really, are you asking that question?
Yeah, I can't believe that
with the
question
administration
even comes
that we
up.
have.
Oh, come
well,
on.
Well, hold on. No,
Any
Imam-
administration.
All right. The point is, we know this administration is either wildly corrupt or massively incompetent.
Well, it's not just. I would say it's not.
This is a
let him
really
go, let him
this
go.
is a really great idea to have a central data collection point to a government that's either massively corrupt
It's horrendous.
or massively incompetent. We really want a data center where they have everybody's information for a government that is massively corrupt or massively incompetent. Think about that. This is what I'm really upset
Okay, but
about.
what do you propose?
Huh?
Well, hold the proposing.
'Cause I'm not done with this.
We're
I'm not either.
analyzing, and we'll propose in a little bit. All right. So, what are the facts, folks? Because this is a confusing issue, and part of me, is torn because he has exposed serious flaws in this administration and possibly violations of the Fourth Amendment. And we spoke about that yesterday. You have to watch this show. Don't they have to watch a show every day? I mean, you really do. Yesterday, we laid out that the Fourth Amendment, whoever put that on the
You want the Fourth
graphic?
Amendment?
Yeah,
I'll
put that back up. And I think for the sake of the audience, we need to read the Fourth Amendment because when the Bill of Rights were written 11 years after the Constitution, 1776, 1787, Bill of Rights came out. It was modifications, corrections, if you will, to state definitively what the rights of American citizens are. And the Fourth Amendment came out of the Revolutionary War and the obtrusive hand of the British government. The U.S. government at that point, there was no U.S. government. It was a neophyte, nascent. It was brand new. So the experience of the framers and the writers is the experience with a very sophisticated, a very authoritative, oligarchical almost monarchy. And they're saying, we don't want the government's hand coming into our homes like the British were doing to the revolutionaries. Show that slide. Bring it up full and somebody read it.
The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized.
Okay, so and a first-year law student can tell you what this means. It's very simple. In order for you to be thrown in jail, you have to have there has to be good cause, probable cause, sufficient cause for you to be detained in that way. Well, how do you get from walking around as a free citizen to being thrown in jail? Well, there has to be a writ of some sort, an order written, an affirmation, and these are some of the archaic terms. And as the case law developed through 237 years, we have a body of law that's very well sophisticated body of law that says if the government, which is a law enforcement agency, wants to arrest somebody, they have to have probable cause to search them. They can't just go, we think that guy's a problem, we're going to go in his house and get all the information because we know he's a bad guy. He hangs out with bad guys down the corner, we know he's a bad guy. No, you have to have probable cause. Okay, well, you have to go to a judge and say, what? What do you say? Well, historically, in law enforcement in the United States, particularly taking down organized crime, the ability to gather public information that leads to a particular sufficient conclusion that can persuade the judge that there's probable cause for a warrant has been the road
Right.
to investigate, going into homes and investigating.
Okay.
And all that material there says in the Fourth Amendment, it can't be done in any unreasonable manner. The courts have decided, and we talked about Andy McCarthy yesterday, who is, do we have the book? Sharia, the Threat to
Sharia, the Threat
America,
to America.
One of the authors of that, author of Grand Jihad, author of a bunch of things. Put the blind sheikh in jail. He is going nuts on this right now because he's one of the lone voices telling everybody out there, the government, as much as he cannot stand the Obama administration. Did you read the?
Yeah, I read it. I read it.
Yes.
He's telling everybody, look.
Well, he's talking about the metadata. He's talking about the information, not the information within the messages. That's what I keep.
The envelope thing.
The envelope.
Tell everybody about the envelope idea.
Yeah, everybody. The envelope idea is, I mean, everybody has your name, number, address, phone number, everything. It's publicly available. It really is.
In a phone book.
In a phone book or whatever.
You put your name on an envelope.
You got your driver's license. It's owned
Yeah.
by the government. They have your number, your ID, and all the information. That's information that is not private. Your phone number is not private. Go look at the phone book. Okay. However, what Andy is saying that the government has a right to have that metadata, and that's what's called metadata.
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 In addition to
In
the
addition-
data, other data.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, what is not allowed is the private phone conversations that you have inside with those phone numbers. So if I call you, Tom, all right, I can have that number here, and I can actually have your number that I called because I called you on my phone over there, and that's a public carried by a private institution, the telephone company, held in their
Public institutions.
They're public
usually, yeah.
Well, I mean they're public institution, and given to you. That's a public record. Who
Yeah.
I called. I cannot listen to that call.
You can't go inside the envelope.
You can't go
You
inside
can look
the
at the
envelope.
address and the return address
Exactly.
and all that.
Now what?
Sealed with a kiss and all
Now
that.
the problem is what I'm really frustrated about, and what Andy is also frustrated about too, is the government collecting that inside the envelope information. If you're my lawyer, Tom, are they listening to my conversation between me and my lawyer over my phone call? Okay, that's where the Fourth Amendment clause comes in. Is that unreasonable? Because it's reasonable searches, reasonable about the metadata.
All right, CJ, what are your thoughts?
Okay, well, first of all, where the information that's being collected is actually concerned, it is not your personal property.
No,
It is the property of the third-party provider, which is the cell phone company.
Right.
You do not have, that is not your owned business. That is not your
Agreed.
owned property. Right. So if we're talking about the Fourth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment has, at this stage, until you have actual cases where the government has opened the envelope, so to speak, you
Right.
do not have a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Your personal property has not been invaded by the government. You do not own your cell phone records. Whoever your phone carrier is the entity that owns those records.
Agreed.
Okay? Right. So as it is, just the fact that the government is collecting a series of numbers
Right.
and not until the government makes actual use of them, nothing has happened.
And the actual use would
Nothing
be
has happened.
Uh,
And the actual use would be,
your
for
phone number
instance, if
is
we,
calling
when
Joseph
we have,
Guardari every Sunday.
for
you know?
instance,
Oh, something's
when we
up.
Fantastic
have
man,
when we have
fantastic
a
man.
terrorist bombing in Boston, and the FBI wants to investigate the chatter level, possibly between accomplices or possible accomplices, or are there any red flags in the network around this area before an incident occurred?
All right.
Okay, well, guess what? They have that information that they can go look for now.
Well,
They
it-
can
even-
zero in on a period of time from now till the bombing and see, do we have the, can we
Well, it even goes
cherry
further than that.
pick?
It even goes further than that. Take the Boston bombing. If everybody's doing their job, there's 50 people being watched in the Boston area.
Right.
Right? And this thing goes, the first thing they do, they go to the NSA and
Right.
say, run these numbers.
Right. Okay.
Goes through the algorithm, and if 10 of these people are all talking to themselves or talking to each other, we don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
If 10 phone calls for 4 days in a row,
Yeah.
we're in some conference, you go,
Right. Huh. Yeah.
you bring that to a
Plus
judge,
which
and a judge says,
That's
you
probable
have probable
cause.
cause.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go do that.
And
No,
then you want to know the number of everybody they called, because everybody they called is a
That's
potential
not-
a potential link in the chain.
there's a fly in this ointment,
Okay?
folks.
But,
But-
if I may please continue.
Yes.
Okay, but you were done.
Okay. No, I'm not done.
She's never done, Mark.
I was hoping, I guess. I'm sorry.
Hope is a long
I
shot.
did think you were done. So I guess.
No,
We
I'm
need
not.
3
I'm
hours.
not.
We need 3
The
hours.
the problem I have with it is I don't trust this government.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
This
now we're getting
got-
down to
I
business.
don't think they
This-
stopped just there. That's where I was going to say. Agreed with
Okay,
you.
but
All right, let her go,
that
you
is
go.
not something that the whistle has been blown on that we have proof of. But
He said that they are listening, and that's the point.
they're
That's what.
listening. The problem here is that this government and our national security institutions are not making use of the
Right.
intelligence that they have now. They're deliberately not targeting known jihadis. We have
Okay,
all
let's-
kinds
I
of
have a vote. I have a vote.
No, I'm not done.
Let her finish.
I'm not done.
I have to give you a time
We-
limit, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have known information on people coming into this country. We're tipped off
But
by
they're Muslims.
other
We can't look
governments.
at
Can't look at their
We're
records.
we're not allowed to investigate actual terrorists in this country, but we're allowed to potentially investigate every other person living in this country. And what that says to me is this government, our national security and domestic institutions, consider us, the people, to be the enemy of the state
agree.
and not
that's the reason we
the
have
true
Okay, okay.
enemy
I don't
of
think
the
anybody
state.
disagrees
Wait,
with
wait,
that.
hang on,
Let's have a
hang on,
quick
hang on,
vote.
hang on.
And furthermore,
wait,
this
no, wait, hang
whole-
on, hang on.
Therefore, this whole issue of privacy.
You've got to give other people a chance to
is a
talk here. I mean,
Okay,
come on.
okay,
Other
okay.
people have
Wait a minute.
opinions.
Let her finish. Go ahead. And then I want to hear Abdullah, because he's just sitting quietly about watching our American system. Get finish
Just
your thought.
watching you kuffars argue amongst yourselves, I find it very funny.
This is a discussion.
This is a tough
This is how
one.
debates
This is
happen.
like watching Sunni and Shia kill each other.
This is a tough one because this kid did something wrong. That's good, actually. You finished?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right. Now, We got people just tuning in the radio.
Right.
Our loyal listeners listen the
So you
whole
don't have
hour.
to go through my whole list of
No, we
notes
have to
here.
do some of it. We need
Never.
3 hours. We need
3
3
hours.
hours.
3 hours.
For those of you just tuning in at
TrentoVision.
540 on TrentoVision.tv and WNN 1470 AM.
5:40 in the afternoon on the 13th of June, Thursday, on a beautiful, sunny, partly cloudy day with a little bit of rain somewhere in the area. You're listening to Tom Trento, CJ, and Godzilla and Rodzilla over there, and Imam Abdullah. We are digging through the complex issues, not just of Edward or Little Eddie Snowjob, Edward Snowden, and his traitorous activities. Now, he hasn't been accused or convicted yet, but he, by his own admission, what he did is a traitorous activity. But we're also looking at the fact that he's exposed a significant failure and shortcoming in the Obama administration.
Yes.
So there are two issues, and the way you solve these problems and move ahead is to keep them separately. Let's put Eddie over there by himself,
Okay.
because he planned this thing for a long time. He hooked up with a left-wing, anti-American filmmaker. He
I'll
selected
give you,
her.
he's a dirtbag.
He's going to the Chinese. He has more information. He's looking for asylum. The Soviets want him. Something's wrong.
All right, he's a
But
dirtbag.
let's go back to, he's a traitor. Let's go back to the United States government now. And,
The bigger dirtbag. Go ahead.
And this contract between the government and the United States is we the people. We the people elect representatives from where? From we.
Right.
Okay? And we're all supposed to have sort of a common understanding of what's right and what's wrong. If we get an administration that's out of balance and that seeks lustfully power, that wants to wield power to implement political change in an ideological fashion as opposed to a constitutional fashion, and may we have that situation before us right now with the constitutional scholar, Mr. Obama, as a president. If we have that sort of administration that is out of balance, out of whack, then we are entrusting the implementation of a very sophisticated software program, PRISM, and many other programs, a lot of other programs, to people who have proven, this is the argument we're making right now, over the past 4 years, how many times did the head of the IRS visit the White House?
168 times or something ridiculous.
No, it was only
It
157.
was only-
57. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
How many times did the head of the IRS visit the Bush White House?
Once.
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 And
But you also have, what else do you have? You have Benghazi. I mean,
Benghazi.
how
There's so many, you lose
There's
track
so
of them.
many.
So we, conservative, pro-American, pro-Constitution, pro-Israel people, we've lost faith in the integrity of this administration. Now, how do we approach, and this is a question for the audience and a question for Mark, how do we approach this issue of the revealing of this program that's possibly invading our privacy? How do we do that with an administration that has lost its integrity?
Well, I go back. I'll actually answer your question with a question. Okay, because the question is actually the answer. Is how many people in here actually think that that the government has not listened in depth to all these conversations, or have taken a phone conversation and actually listened to what's going on, even if it's between a lawyer and a person? How many think they have not done that?
You mean actually listen, go inside the envelope?
Right.
Now,
Illegally.
Illegally.
What type of persons are you talking about?
A government
Like
official.
me?
Any government
Especially you.
Especially me. Well, I mean, they can hear me and my
Well, first of
conversations
all,
with my mother and my father, but
the temptation to do that is way too much, and this information is complete power. Information is power nowadays. You have the information on everything you do, every move, every essence, everything a person does. It is complete power
Yeah.
to come over top.
But if
of.
they do go in there and then do that and then want to bring you to court, okay, and the judge stamps the date 5 days after you had the conversation, well, the conversation
let me-
can't hold up in court.
So you're saying that the federal government could actually do all this in a competent way? Let me ask you about competence.
I still have faith and belief in my country and the people in this country
Yeah.
to elect the right people to do the right job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, are they
You
there
still
now?
have
Are
that
they
Then
there?
you might as well give up your rights in the country if you don't have faith in the country.
And yeah, like I have.
I'm dumb as a post.
How many people think that the TSA is actually worth the amount of money that we're spending on it to stop terrorism?
No, I think we have way too many organizations. I think it should.
Hold on. How many terrorists has the TSA stopped? Zero.
That's
Well,
pretty good.
no,
Then they're doing a good job.
No, I'm talking. They have not. They've stopped 0 terrorists. They have 0 arrests from the TSA policy.
Well,
now hold on.
Yes and no. I mean,
Well, and how many
If
trillions?
you
hold on, how
remove
many
them.
trillions of dollars have we spent on the TSA? This
That's
massive.
going
Well,
but that's
as
going
far
on.
as
No, but what
the
I'm trying to draw the parallel. This data collection center is supposed to be this grand thing. It's supposed to be this grand thing
Yes.
to stop terrorism. You know, that is such a BS thing. This is simply a way to collect
I
data
think
on
it
us.
started off
Well,
in a
let's look
good
at- let's
way,
look at
and
the
I think
technology.
us as humans that are imperfect brought it to an area that we shouldn't have brought it to, and
Good
now
point.
you need to put regulations in place to take care of that.
The intern
Oh,
has
yeah.
a very good point. Hang
Like
on, hang
before
on.
9/11, we
Hang
didn't
on.
have any of these problems with security. It
Time
was
out.
until 9/11 we had to figure all that out. It's trial and error.
Hang on. Good point. Intern has a good point there. We only got a couple of minutes left, but I think tomorrow we have Diana on, right?
Well, can I make one quick point?
Very quick.
Very quick
Your
point.
points are long sometimes.
Well,
Okay.
very quick. Is we know the Obama administration is totally corrupted with Islamic terrorism and extremism.
Fantastic.
And we know these and we know these people and we know these high-ranking Muslim Brotherhood have high security
Running this
clearances.
friggin' show, of course.
All right.
Yes.
And so we want to put
That's
the
the
data.
bad news.
So do you
Red
think this is a
carpet.
really good idea to put all the collection of everybody's in America so
no.
these guys can get to it?
Of course not.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
We're working our way there. You want to jump there. You got to sometimes
Yeah.
take the primrose to the
Yeah.
garden.
My little stump partner over here.
We got a couple of minutes left. I think tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll have we'll talk to Diana about some of this because she's leaning toward your view that Snowden may have done a very, very good thing for the country.
Even though he might be a dirtbag. Okay.
Well, he's a traitor.
Well, whatever.
I mean,
at least a
yeah,
dirtbag.
yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you at least a
I
dirtbag.
say he's a traitor anyway, and if we happen to benefit from it,
Yeah.
then I have no problem.
Sure,
with
Thank you.
that.
Thank,
Yeah,
thank you,
I
Doctor.
agree with CJ on that one because if you don't,
You know, they're not mutually exclusive.
if you give this guy a pass, then you're getting into the territory that we were talking about a couple minutes ago.
the Dr.
is you're-
Mengele.
Exactly, you're allowing everybody to
Mengele
do
said
this
that.
now without any consequences.
Dr. Mengele syndrome, right?
This is going to
Are
be.
they going to hit him with a drone?
He is an American citizen.
he is American.
Yeah.
According to
According to
Congressman-
Ron
yeah.
Paul.
Ron Paul came out today and he's worried
Well,
that Obama's going to kill this kid Eddie Snowden with a drone attack.
Well, as long as Eddie Snowden
not that-
converts to Muslim and Islam, then he'll be fine.
it's not that crazy an idea anymore. That something as bizarre as that could happen. But the kid's on the run. He's in Hong Kong. Somewhere we don't know where he is. I mean, who knows where he is? But it's a developing story. So what do we know so far? Here's what we know. You had this young guy who, when he was 20 years old, 2004, he was thinking, he was upset with the way the government was violating privacy rights of its citizens. 20 years old, 2004. He's 29 now, and what happened in all these years? I mean, that bothered him back when he was 20 years old. Now he is, by the declaration of virtually every news outlet in the world, the largest spy case in history, in the history of the United States, the most egregious one. And our issue we're talking about here is the government has a right and a duty to collect the metadata to do the analytical tracking of bad guys. The problem is this government has extricated bad guy language from its counterterrorism lexicon, where you're not allowed to say what anymore.
Jihad,
Jihad,
Muslim,
Islamic terrorism.
Islam.
terrorists,
Now, if you notice, they've gone to the. Yeah, I mean,
All that stuff.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
literally removed it.
And to show you the seriousness of this, when the NSA is tracking a call, they track the calls in real time. So when they're tracking the call and they have point A to point B, they're just saying, there's a call between Saudi Arabia and New York. You know how difficult it is to listen in. I don't. Is her mic on? I don't think her mic is on.
That's okay.
Is
Keep going. We're almost done.
is we're almost done. We're almost done with what?
Go ahead.
What's going on?
Just go.
But something's going on
Go.
over
Just
there.
go. Keep talking.
Okay,
Go
okay.
ahead.
When you have when you're tracking in real time the call like this, somebody's going, oh, there's a call from this point to this point. All you do is push a little button, and you're listening to the call. It's not like magically you have to go to 57 different people. Just push a little button. You're listening to that call that you were tracking. So, and you think our system's so sophisticated that if somebody wants to go, just listen to that one for a little while, that's not happening? Of course it's happening.
No, of course
So
it's happening.
those are the problems. All right, we'll talk to Diana about this tomorrow. What we're going to leave kind of hanging is, did this national security breach, and we'll talk to Diana and Ronnie Wexler tomorrow, by Edward Snowden, former employee of the CIA, NSA, did it impact our national security partner, Israel, in any way, shape, or form? We're going to talk about that on tomorrow's show. Right now, we got a couple of minutes left. Let's go through some of the itinerary. Do you guys have it up? Damon, you got the itinerary up for the trip?
1 sec.
The detailed? Okay. I have. Yeah, we need it up
I
on
got
the
him coming.
screen.
Hold on.
And then we'll take a look at it. What are these guys doing running all around? Something's going on out there.
We've got to. CJ's batteries are out.
Oh.
They were on 4, so maybe it got shut off by accident.
No. What's that? Yeah, don't be pulling that stuff.
Live radio. Please, more jihad, less battery talk.
Let's go see the. I'm looking for. Here we go. This thing right here. I'll tell you about it. Well, we're getting.
I got
our
it up,
equipment-
Tom.
I got it up, Tom.
All right, here we go. Our itinerary. More information. All right, here we go, folks. You got to come with us, and tomorrow we will show you. In fact, I'm going to show you today. We got time to show you this. Day one, when we leave on Tuesday, Monday, September 30th. It's a Monday. We take off at night. Get there Tuesday, October 1st, and we will spend the day in Tel Aviv. We take off Tuesday. We wake up Wednesday, and we're going to go to the Galilee. Have breakfast and an orientation with Frank Geffen, Bill Murray, Bill Federer. That's Gaffney. They misspelled it. Ronnie Wexler, our guides, our staffs, me, I'll be there. Our presentation in Ariel will focus on the security and defense of this stronghold in the West Bank. So we're going into the West Bank. You ready for that? West Bank is disputed territory. Somehow got disputed. Yeah, getting a little warm in here. The West Bank is an area that you hear about all the time, and this is part of Gaza,
Known as
supposedly.
Judea, Samaria.
But we're going to go there. You're going to be there. Very few people on the face of the earth that don't live there have been to the West Bank. You are going to the West Bank. You'll do
love
that
it
on
there.
Wednesday. You do, Abdullah, don't you?
Yes.
Thursday, the Sea of Galilee, and for the Christians, this is where the ministry of Jesus, great part of his ministry, took place. We're going to look at some ancient synagogues there, the Mount of the Beatitudes, where Jesus said, "Blessed are the Beatitudes. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are this, that, and the other thing." We're going to look at exactly where that took place. We're going to be visiting on Thursday also the Golan Heights. Friday, you have a mic or no?
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
she's good.
Okay. Why don't you do Friday and Saturday, and I'll get a drink of water.
Oh, okay. We are. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yep. We are leaving the Galilee on our way to Jerusalem. Our first stop will be Nazareth.
Cool.
Yeah, here we will visit the Mount of Precipice, identified as the mountain from which the people of Nazareth tried to push Jesus after he infuriated them with
You're
his
out of
word.
here, Jesus. Over the cliff.
Yeah. And then Friday night is a Kabbalat Shabbat service, which you can attend or not attend. But
That's
I'm sure,
going to be cool.
Yeah, you know what? I bet more Christians
Oh,
than Jews
absolutely.
go to that one.
That is going to be cool.
That's going to be really
What's
good.
Kabbalat Shabbat? What is that?
It's a Friday evening service to welcome in the Sabbath.
No, I know Shabbat, but the Kabbalat. What is?
Well, it's just it's the recitation of the Psalms, that,
Okay.
etc. So
That-
it's just a
A
different.
Shabbat service on a Friday night
Yeah,
in Israel. Where are we going to be?
at
In
the
Jerusalem.
Western Wall.
Oh my word.
Yeah,
That is going to be cool. Dinner
Yeah.
and overnight in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Okay.
and then on Saturday, I guess there will be, for those who want to go to shul in the morning, that they can go to shul in the morning, and then going to the Dead Sea and Masada.
Uh,
Yeah. Masada was the last pocket of insurrection in the Jewish rebellion against the Roman Empire. Of course, we all know that story. And so that's the
And look at-
evening
look at the-
panel.
yeah, look at the
the
dinner. That's-
evening
that's
panel.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
You
appropriate.
have dinner and overnight in Jerusalem, and the evening panel is Jerusalem and Islam. So we're going to hear.
That's gonna be worth
that's
the
gonna
price of the
be-
ticket
Yeah,
right
that
there.
would be worth it right there, just to hear that. Just to,
let's go see that thing.
yeah.
Sunday. We got.
where
What do
I
we
would
have
go.
left here? 2 minutes. Do you have the website? Can you put the contact up for the people watching on WNN
Sure.
1470 listening? TrentoVision.tv. We're putting up right now the website that you can go to, and it's very easy to follow. We got a couple of days left. CJ's going to go through. We got about a minute left, but you can go to the website. Very detailed website. Please book your reservation now. Let us know. Go ahead, finish up.
Okay, still in Jerusalem on Sunday, touring the Mount of Olives and the Temple Mount and the Dome of the Rock and Al Aqsa Mosque.
Here we go.
And so
Oops, I dropped
Sunday, big day. Trace the footsteps of Jesus.
Oh, that's going to be pretty
So
cool.
yeah, you go to the
Via
Pool of
Dolorosa.
Bethesda, Stephen's Gate, St. Anne's Church. Oh my gosh! And the Way of the Agony and the Stations of the Cross.
Oh, that's
Oh
gonna
my
be pretty
gosh,
cool.
that's going to be amazing.
It's very small. Yeah, when I was a Christian all my life,
It just
I figured
feels
it's
like the walk takes forever, but
it's
yeah,
a little
for the
path
people
like
doing
this.
It, yeah.
You walk down this little path.
Yeah, and then in the afternoon going to the reconstructed Jewish quarter, and again a fabulous evening program, dinner and overnight in Jerusalem. The evening panel is Security, Defense, and Intelligence: The Reality of the Middle East. So
This is amazing
it's
stuff.
absolutely amazing, and
That's
we have
Al-Aqsa.
we have talked a little bit about some of the people who will be speakers for the programs during the tour. So yeah.
So what?
So-
we gotta go. We gotta get
So we
everybody
gotta
to go. It's
Yeah,
time
we have
to
to get
leave.
everybody to go, but we'll have Ronnie tell us more about the panelists and more about the trips.
Tomorrow, please join us tomorrow, folks. 5 o'clock East Coast time. That's 2 o'clock for you folks in California. Midnight for everybody in Israel. 11 o'clock for those of you in Europe. Join us tomorrow. Diana West, we're going to ask her about little Eddie's snow job, see what she thinks about him. Ronnie Wexler is going to tell us about the trip and then tell us what's going on right now as he is there. But according to our little clock here, the day is coming to an end. It's been wonderful. We like to have a stimulating
Stay tuned
conversation.
tomorrow for Jumpin' Juma,
Jumpin'
Freaky
Juma,
Friday.
and we want you to come on this trip. So please figure out a way. Don't be afraid. God will protect you, and so will we. See you. Bye.